Hey, what's up? This is Paul Solt, and I've got another speed coding session just going over what I accomplished today in another coding session. I got two things done of the three things that I was trying to do. The third one, I spent about half an hour and I couldn't figure out exactly what I wanted to do. So I might have to reapproach the challenge, but I want to show off what I got working. So this is the iPad app, and initially, my images were rotating off the screen, so now they're not rotating off the screen. The rotation logic has changed a lot since iOS 6, and it doesn't actually rotate anymore. It just changes sizes, so it's like just a window resize. So I had to update the logic so it wouldn't be super crazy. I am calculating relative positions of these images so that, like, if this is in the corner, it should still be in the corner when I rotate. The reason this logic exists is because if I were to rotate right now and it was stuck in this corner, it's going to be off screen and we wouldn't be able to see it. So that's what this logic does. It wasn't working. It was all buggy. I fixed that up. And then the other thing I was working on is the new menu up top. I got this working. I've got a new share option that will share a screenshot. So if I save the image, we jump on over to photos. You're going to see the latest photo down here is going to be that image. And so that flick image is exactly where I left it. All right, so that is the screenshot. I also fixed that. It was not putting it in the right spot. So it was a combination of a static size. This was back when the iPad first launched. So we only had one size of iPad and we only had one size of iPhone. And now we've got a lot more. So that made the logic a little bit more complicated, and I was hard coding some values that were causing the offsets. The other thing I did is I simplified the menu. There was a bunch of things here. I didn't want to deal with emails right now. I can always add that later. So I just took that menu option out, and then I added a share, which will take you to the App Store. If you're on the internet, though I'm not on the internet right now, and the app is not on the App Store right now, so that won't work. And then the other one is the settings, which will show this. And I need to update this to use new pickers, but I didn't get to that today. So that is where we're at right now with Photo Table on trying to get this back on the App Store. I think I've fixed all the crashing bugs. A lot of the crashes were related to iPad and these popovers. So like these pop-ups are still working. There's still some work to do on the albums view with that edit option. So I'd still need to address the dark mode. That's why you're seeing all the wonky colors here. If I scroll over this, you'll see that it's not aware of dark mode because that didn't exist when this app came out. So that'll be probably my next task, along with trying to fix this add photos button. It's currently not working because I broke it, and I need to see if I can rejigger that. I was trying to programmatically call a popover button or a pop-up button, but I don't know if that's possible. So I tried a second approach and it did not work. So without anything else, let's take a look at what that looked like. So here I'm trying to get the screen, and I know some of this stuff is deprecated, and so it's just trying to understand like what you can actually call and what you can't call. So I'm trying to figure out what's the preferred method. And really what Apple's trying to get you to do is to use the current screen and not the singleton. So previously we had just a singleton that gave us the main screen, but that doesn't work when you have multiple screens attached to your app. So if you're air displaying some special window content, or if you're doing multi-screen on Mac from an iPad app, or you're doing the same type of thing on an iPad app, you can have multiple scenes. And so we need to make sure that we're referring to the correct one. I then had an issue with the background color was not rotating properly, and that's because it was using the auto sizing masks, and something on newer iPhones just isn't set up properly. I don't know exactly what has changed, but it's been a long time. So I changed the background color just to sort of track down the issue, added some constraints because it didn't have any constraints, because this is before I think auto layout came out, or it was before I adopted it in the application and just got it working without. And maybe this problem always existed. I had never seen it before, so it's most likely newer code. And then the last issue was trying to fix the rotation. So previously on iPhone, it would actually rotate the user interface, but newer versions of iOS don't actually rotate the content. They just shift the size of the view. And so you need to write your code a little bit differently. So for this, I had to use that view well transition to size, and then I had to sort of rejigger some of the logic so that it could reposition the views. Now I have to do relative positions here because I don't want images that are on screen to go off screen when you rotate. So I have to recalculate a new position for them. And I had logic that did it. It needed to be massaged a little bit so that I could use this new API, which behaves a little bit differently. So this is me sort of going through that, getting it working, cleaning it up, and then making a commit. So just getting that done, adding some notes. I was super excited that I got that working. And then I'm trying to fix this popover button, and I'm not sure exactly the best approach. I thought I could use a UI button and show this pop-up button programmatically, but it doesn't seem to be working. So I must be calling something wrong, or it's not intended behavior for these buttons. I wasn't able to do it with a bar button when I tried playing around with this before, so I thought the UI button would be the solution. However, I couldn't figure it out, so this is kind of where I left it, and I'll pick this up tomorrow. May or may not do anything. I'll just keep this alert controller if that's the only way I can do it. It just looks a little bit different, and I was trying to avoid that. So I might change where it presents from, like presenting from the button itself. But that's a future problem, and that's typical of software. Is you try something out, it doesn't work like you expect, and you have to reapproach it the next time. If this was useful or you enjoyed sort of the commentary of like how this all came together, just click the like button, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.